They aren't opponents that we can take on by ourselves. There are 3 enemies, when we'll need at least 1 more on our side. Then there are limited possibilities. People are magi and have a reason to fight against Caster. It'll be other
トサカ、
masters.
怒らないで聞いてくれ。その他のマスターとは協力できないかな。
I mean, I fucking hope she's up for it.
いいわ。その心は口にするからには何か算段があるんでしょ。
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが、今のキャスターの状態は他のマスターにとっても無視できないだろう。なら今回だけってことで手を組めるかもしれないと思って。
ええ、実は私も同じことを考えてた。
Okay.
てっきり白を反対すると思ってたから黙ってたんだけどね。
I was worried that she wasn't going to be down for it, honestly. I really thought she was going to be a bit more of objecting to it. She says so unenthusiastically. She must not like the idea, but she must know that that's the only option we have.
となると、残るマスターは2人。ランサーのマスターとバーサーカーのマスターね。ランサーのマスターは不明のままだから交渉のしようもないけど、バーサーカーのマスターであるイリアスフィールなら可能性はあるかもしれない。
God, no. Berserker's master. I mean, can I just find Lancer or Gilgamesh? Either one? Please? I'll kill Shinji. The white girl and the statue-like giant I met on the night when it all began. She sounded dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel.
そうだな。あの子なら話し合いに応じてくれそうだ。見返りに無茶な条件も出してきそうにないし。
Yeah, just, you know, you. That's what she'll ask for in return.
バカ、シローにとっちゃあいつが一番ヤバいのよ。あいつ、初めっからシローしか見てなかったもの。私はともかく、あんたはどんな目に遭わされるか分かったもんじゃないわよ。
なんだよそれ。俺はあの子と一度しか会ってないんだ。そんなことになるわけないだろ
う。そんなことになったら交渉なんて破棄に決まってるじゃない。バ
Oh
カ。
my god. It's so adorable. God damn it. Then, Tosaka vertigates and gulps down her tea.
けど、今はイリアスフィールにかけるしかないわね。キャスターの正体がアーチャーの言う通りなら、間違いなくバーサーカーは天敵だし。
Because they're both Greek?
何しろ生前の知り合いだもの。キャスターの手口なんて知り尽くしてるでしょ。
They did?
バーサーカーならキャスターとアーチャーが同時に攻めてきても追い返せる。私たちはその間にクズキ一人を攻略すればいい。
I didn't know that. Apparently they knew each other.
そりゃ理想論だけど。トサカ、キャスターはバーサーカーと関係があるのか？
She just said so. Why would she just lie?
ええ、アーチャーが言ってたのよ。バーサーカーの正体はヘラクレスだって。
Again, you can fucking look at him and know who he is.
キャスターが本当にあの希代の魔女なら、アルゴーセンつながりでバーサーカーとは面識があるかもしれない。私が綺麗に苦手意識を持つのと同じ。世の中にはね、どうしたって苦手なやつっているもんなのよ。
Nice comparison, but okay. Okay. Well, I'm sure everyone would dislike that priest. I doubt it. There's always people that like him.
じゃあ決まりだな。けど、どうやってあの子を見つけようか。あれ以来出てこないけど、あれだけの魔力を持ってるなら、隠れていようと見つけ出せるだろ。なのに見つからないってことは、この町にはいないってことじゃないのか。
でしょうね。イリアスフィールはずっと遠くから聖杯戦争を眺めて楽しんでるんでしょ。
ずっと遠く？キャスターみたいに竜道寺から町を監視してるのか？
You could say something like that.
さあ、けどどこにいるかは見当がつく。昔父さんから聞いたことがあるのよ。アインツベルンは郊外の森に別荘を持ってるって。
She says so with a tense voice. A villa inside the forest. Tosaka's expression tells me how dangerous the place is. I go back to my room and lie down. Drowsiness fills my body as soon as I do. I stare at the dark ceiling. We're going to Iliasfield's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that we'll need energy. Tosaka said we wouldn't get good results with tired bodies, so we decided to head out after we sleep.
夜明けまであと5時間。そうなったら、あの子と話し合いをしなくちゃならない。
Please give more than 5 hours of sleep, buddy. The young master that appeared on that night, I became a master. If Saber is a servant, excellent in all aspects. Berserker is a servant specialized in battle. There is no servant that can match Berserker in simple
そうな
combat.
いけど、どう話し合えばいい？
I mean, just make loud grunting noises. Saying it makes me believe it's impossible to negotiate with them, but... Strangely, I don't feel uneasiness. I think Ilya will understand us if we talk to her. Just like Tosaka, she will classify enemy and ally as a magus, but I think she's a proper girl with all that aside.
まったく、まだ話したこともないくせに、希望的観測にも程がある。
Well, I mean, if you just immediately write off the worst possible outcome, then, you know, that's what's gonna happen. You're never gonna have hope. You gotta believe sometimes. I bet he would scorn me saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing? Is it wrong to hope for someone you haven't met yet? I realize that I'm gritting my teeth. The man who told me to drown in my ideals and die betrayed Tosaka in front of me. And I don't like that he betrayed her. He made her cry, and I do not accept that.
あちゃ。
My mind darkens. No, it's freezing. My head cools down thinking about what he did. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosaka. I can't forgive the fact that he cast away his partner. I will swear here, even if that may have been the very best action, and even if it turns out that it was the right choice to survive, I will never do something like that. No, fuck that. I would never betray her. She is too sweet and kind to do that to her. I'd betray someone else probably, maybe. I'm really not the betraying type. I mean, I'm going down with the ship. I mean, she's just too sweet to betray. I mean, look at her. Come on, that's just mean. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I opposed him when he told me I cannot save everybody, but I agreed that his words somewhere else inside of me. His words are correct. The superhero my father talked about is just a fantasy, and I accepted the fact that I would have to become like him to get as close to that ideal as possible. Not wanting to do so, I openly denied the idea, even though I accepted it in my mind. But this isn't on such a level. I can't approve of him. I can't approve of his actions no matter what the circumstances may be. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve of him.
だから、お前には負けられない。
My words do not disperse into the darkness, but stay in the room. A few hours until dawn. I keep repeating those words even in my sleep. 13 verse Berserker. Ooh. She is alone with her thoughts in the darkness. It has been a day since she attacked the church and killed the priest. It has been a day since she declared that she can find it no matter where it may be hidden if it exists. It may not be the case for other servants, but there is no way someone versed in magic like her would not be able to find a relic as holy as the Holy Grail. Then there's only one answer. The Holy Grail was never hidden in this church to begin with. She sighs and puts her fingers to her on her temple. When she closes her eyes, heavy darkness assails her body. No, it is just a scream. It is not coming from outside. The scream comes from her body and mind, telling her that her fatigue is at the limit. Hey, you want to take a sleep? It's been a month since she was summoned. Jesus. Since then, she has done her best to win. Her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit, and she is the weakest of the servants. To make up for that, she abused forbidden magic. Collection from the people, a magic string she placed throughout the town into the control of the ley line using sacrifices. These are all reasons why she was called a witch during her life. but she has never used them before. She should have never used them, and she did not intend to do the forbidden, so why'd she end up using them for a meaningless conflict like this? She became a heroic spirit to take revenge. But she also knows it is meaningless to use the skills that label her as a witch. She only uses trivial magic. She only created disasters that caused people to destroy themselves with their own greed. That was all the revenge she could manage, so what caused her to stray from her path so much?
すべては聖杯のため。あらゆる望みを叶える聖杯なのだから、気が違うのは当然です。
That is a lie. She knows the true identity of the Holy Grail. Sherry knows what that thing is and why servants like her are summoned. It is true that most wishes can be granted using the Holy Grail that appears in this town. It will allow her to stay in this world with physical form, and it will allow her to start a second life as a human. But
バカね。そんなことに何の意味があるというの。
saying so, she closes her eyes. She empties her hand. Her mind. Ugh. For now, she lets her guard down and rests her mind. She hears the sound of rain. It was the night without moonlight. The surroundings were pitch black, and she wandered with an empty mind. That is where she met him. With blood-stained body and frozen limbs. A chanced meeting that was more miraculous than any miracle. It was a mountain where the Ryudo Temple is located. Falling rain. She stumbled aimlessly through the dense forest. She left behind a trail of blood. In her hand was a dagger that breaks all contracts. Her purple robe was wet with rain, and her limbs had turned white from the winter cold. She staggered around, holding on to the trees for support. She walked on, dirtied with mud, her breath ragged, clenching out her hand as if begging for help. She did not look like her usual self, filled with cool composure. No, even the amount of magical energy was unlike her. She was exhausted. She only had a handful of power left. The hell? For a servant, magical energy is like a lifeline that allows them to stay in this world. But that was all lost. No magical energy was coming from her master. But that was only natural. She had just killed her own master. Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh, okay, no, okay, I get where this is going. So, she made a contract with what's-his-face, Kazuki, who is now her new master. So when she said she killed her master, she's not lying, but she still had another master. That's some fucking wordplay there, honey. That was the cause of her exhaustion. She, servant Castor, was about to disappear alone as a compensation for obtaining freedom. That's pretty ironic. A dry laugh. It is funny that her body was not able to maintain itself, and that she was betrayed her, and that she betrayed her vulgar master. Moreover, it's quite amusing to see how badly she had underestimated the relationship between servant and master. She had done well. Her master was a legitimate magus. He was in his 30s, had a medium build, and had a few noteworthy characteristics. He had no will to fight, but dreamed of victory. He was a man that only waited for the other masters to kill each other. Boring. Next. The man had not trusted Castor. He treated Castor coldly as she was a superior magus, and he insulted her for being inferior to the other servants. Or I wouldn't. I'd be happy with anyone that's summoned, personally, but you know, whatever. She gave up on him after a few days. She acted as an obedient servant and filled the man's conceit. In short, she made him use his command spells for meaningless things. She told him he did not need the command spells, and he believed her. She made him believe that she would be faithful for her master, to her master even without the command spell. It was his fault for believing in her. What a fucking idiot. The master used his third command spell for a meaningless thing, and was killed by Castor at that moment. It was easy. She did not like the fact that the contract with him still existed, so she killed him using the rule breaker. Get fucked, buddy. I don't feel bad about that at all. I mean, if he's stupid enough to do that, yeah, whatever. But she had made a mistake. Servants exist using the supply of magical energy provided by their master. But not just magical energy. Servants are only allowed to exist in this age by being connected with people of this age. In other words, to lose one's master, the passport to this age means being forced to return to the outside world. But she would not normally be this exhausted. This was the curse her master had left her. Her master did not approve of her as she was a better magus than he was. Therefore, he limited her magical energy to be always below his level. What a fucking douche. What the fuck was wrong with you, buddy? Do you want to actually fucking win? Oh god, I'm glad she gutted his ass. Ah, god damn it. Now I'm supporting Castor. Oh, damn it. In this exact moment, I nullify her of any of her actions. She has perfectly every right to kill her master. I don't blame her for it at all. The magical energy level of a mere human cannot keep a servant in this world. Obviously. She would normally be able to stay in this world for 2 days after losing her master. That's a fucking long time. But now it was different. Her magical energy was drastically decreasing with every second, and the end was near. That's basically a death sentence. Like, even if he's still alive. Probably a few more minutes. She would disappear if she could not find her next master in that time. She would disappear before she could fight. Unable to do anything. She would be a pitiful servant, someone only to be trampled upon. Damn it. I feel bad for her now. I want to give her a hug. And be her master. It was vexing. It was vexing, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It had always been like this for her. She was treated unreasonably like this all the time. She was always used as a tool, and she was never understood by anyone. Damn. Yes. Her life was always controlled by someone else. Her mind was destroyed at a young age to save a hero chosen by the gods. Just for the sake of a hero, the goddess of beauty happened to favor. The goddess cursed her to blindly love a man she had never seen. The girl betrayed her father, and she was even forced to betray her own country. There is no memory after that. After everything was over, the girl who was a princess was in an unfamiliar country. A girl that betrayed her father, the king, for a man. A witch that cut apart her own brother and threw the pieces into the sea to escape her native country. And the man who wanted it done cast her aside in order to become king, saying he could not marry a witch. She was controlled and taken to an unknown country, was marked as a witch, and the only person she could rely on threw her away. That is her origin. There is nothing people can blame her for, and people around her were aware of that. But still people continued to demand for her to be a witch, an evil to protect the king, an evil to be on the receiving end of evil superstitions. People wanted a convenient scapegoat that they could blame for any disaster. This pattern has never changed. People demand easily understandable evil to reassure themselves of their own goodness. Oh, god damn, now we're getting deep. Oh, that's very true. It's so easy for someone to just label something as evil and move on and not have to like really understand why someone does something or, you know, why something happens. Oh, now we're getting into the philosophy of everything. God damn it, Castor. I'm gonna feel bad for her, aren't I? At the end of this episode, it's gonna be Castor did nothing wrong. Ugh. In that regard, she was the perfect sacrifice. The father she could rely on was in a distant country. Nobody defended her, and people gladly blamed her for all the ugly things in this world. They decided that every ugliness was the witch's doing, that they were poor, that they hate others, that humans are ugly, and even that people die. So she merely accepted it. Since she could only live as a witch, she decided to live like a witch. I mean, it's really easy for people just to shift blame onto other things. It's really hard for someone to actually look at themselves and say why, and question themselves instead of just shifting blame. She swore to show them the ugliness of the witches they demanded of her. If people do not know their ugliness, so be it. They can stay ignorant, go to hell for their own crimes, and suffer forever. They won't be able to get out of hell. They will suffer forever as criminals because they do not know what crimes they have committed. That is the reason for existence she imposed on herself. That is the only role people gave to the girl, to the one called the witch, who never had a free will. But nobody actually wished for such a thing. The same goes for her as well. She seeks revenge against her will without having any wish for herself, yes, until she met up with this stranger. A rustling sound. She peered ahead, even though she was barely able to stand. It's midnight. Who could possibly come to the forest at this time?
そこで何をしている?
Hey, buddy. It was a heavy voice. She did not have the composure to check who it was. She just thought it was over. She had no power to use magic. Her purple robe might have looked like a coat, but she was covered in blood. A woman covered in blood was hiding in the rain. It was obvious that what such a person did. Anyone would run away first. What would they do after that? They would either call the police or pretend they hadn't seen it. It did not matter to her as she could no longer move. I mean, if realistically speaking, there's only two options I do. I either nope the fuck out. If she looks suspicious, I just leave and, nothing happened here. I wouldn't run away. I'd just walk away and just, didn't see anything, buddy. Just nope the hell out. The other option is I think she's injured. Because if I see her, like, blood's coming off of her, and she's, like, really weak looking, I immediately assume she's been shot, stabbed, something, she's wounded. I'm going to want to take care of her and, like, make sure she's okay. Obviously, once I get to her, notice that she's not bleeding. That's where we'll have a bit of an issue. That caused the last of her spirit to give out. Her last moment was cold and lonely, just as it was at the end of her true lifetime. Or so she thought. When she regained consciousness, she was in that place. In front of her is that man, the man who she met in the woods.
起きたか? 事情は話せるか?
Those were his first words. When she watched the man with blank amazement.
迷惑だったのなら帰るがいい. 忘れろというなら忘れよ.
The tone of his voice never changed. That was her first encounter of with her master, Kazuki Soichiro. Kazuki was a strange man. Should he be called a ghost? He had no reason to live, but he had no reason to die. He was just there, and since he existed, he followed whatever whim he took. Or took him. He has no self. That was her first impression of him, and she thought it would be easy to turn him into a puppet. She grew to realize that the thought was a mistake. Kazuki Soichiro does not have a past. He has no self because he has no past, but it does not mean Kazuki Soichiro is empty. Kazuki was a sincere man. He easily accepted her when she told him that she wanted him to be her master, and when she told him about her true identity.
このような話を信じるのですか?
I mean, do I have a reason to doubt it?
今のは嘘なのか?
He accepted it after she told him it was the truth. I mean, why would I assume you're lying? She obtained a new master and she was able to stay in this world and return to her role of being a witch. No, seriously, like, why would I doubt you? I don't see a point in doubting you. She still considers it to be a miracle, as she would have disappeared before she woke up if she wasn't taken to the Ryudo Temple. The Ryudo Temple is a demonic place for servants, but it is a perfect summoning place once inside. As the Ryudo Temple is surrounded by a boundary field, it is suited for keeping everything inhumane. Anything inhumane. Inhuman. Fuck. She was able to remain without disappearing because she was brought to the Ryudo Temple. Had it been any place else, she would have vanished after being taken there. As a result, she obtained the best ley line and the best protection. She easily occupied the Ryudo Temple, figured out the mechanisms of the Holy Grail, and summoned assassins that fit the servant. But such things are trivial matters. She was certainly lucky on that night. Many miracles saved her, and she is now on the verge of victory. But they do not deserve thanks. She would have been fine with it even if those miracles had not occurred. There's only one important fact, a very small matter that is trivial for anyone else. For her, the fact that she was able to meet Kazuki Soichiro is a miracle beyond belief. I feel happy for her, actually. But it's not going well. She feels that everything she does is not going well. Her master will not be delighted with what she did. He has never had an interest in the Holy Grail. She would do her best to grant any wish of his, but Kazuki Soichiro has none. A one-sided relationship. They do not get along well. It is not going well at all.
ミイラ取りがミイラになったか。希代の魔女というのも案外脆いものだな。
She turns to the intruder. It is not her master that is standing there. It is the knight in red, Archer, with his true identity still unknown.
アーチャー、あなたには外の見張りを任せたはずですが。
ああ、それがな、ざっと見たところ、周囲に敵という敵がいない。退屈を持て余してね、中の様子を見に来たのだ。
それはそうでしょうね。私たちの敵はバーサーカーだけよ。それもセイバーさえ陥落すればこちらから打って出るだけ。あなたが私たちに寝返った時点でもう敵なんていないのよ。あなたもそれが分かっていたからこそこちらに着いたのではなくて。
さて、どうかな。私はあのマスターと契約を切りたかっただけとは思わないか。あのマスター以外なら契約者は誰でもよかったと。
There's some truth in Archer's words. But what does it mean? Archer had no intention of betraying, but betrayed his master only because he wanted to break his contract with Tosaka Rin.
そう。小娘のおもりはごめんということ。確かに私たちサーバントは総じてマスターに不満を持つわ。あなたが愛想を尽かすのも当然でしょうね。
いや、召喚者として彼女は完璧だった。ただ少しばかり狂いが生じただけだ。それとキャスター、一つ忠告しよう。あらゆるサーバントが君と同じだとは思わないことだ。少なくともセイバーとバーサーカーは主に不満を抱いてはいなかった。正しい英雄というものはね、正しい人間にしか刺激できないものなんだ。
God, I could only imagine what my servant would be like. He would be an asshole like me. Oh, we'd have so much fun. It would be just shitting around for most of the war, and then just getting serious and absolutely annihilating everyone else in our path. That's basically how it would go down.
何を今さら。 ねじ曲がったマスターだからこそねじ曲がった英霊を呼ぶ。そのようなことあなたに言われるまでもないわ。
That is right. Servants are determined by their summoners. Summoners with dark shadows in their minds cannot summon heroic spirits who are on the light side. I'm straight down the fucking neutral, buddy. In that regard, she and Ryder are not heroic spirits. Find me a neutral servant, that will be mine. A twisted master calls for a twisted heroic spirit. As Ryder, who was one that was beautiful, she was also one that was pure. It is ironic how the servant caster summoned is a fictional hero.
しかし考えてみればおかしな話だな。君やライダーは英霊に敵対するものだろう。にもかかわらずサーバントとして選ばれている。まあ聖杯には善悪の区別はない。力のある人間霊なら誰であろうと組み上げるということか。
いいえ、本来そんな英霊としての側面もあるものなんて混ざり物は選ばれない。この戦いがおかしくなったのは3度目からよ。それまでは私やライダーのような英霊は呼ばれなかった。
That does not concern her now. She is not concerned about the true identity of the Holy Grail. Servants Caster's mission is to win this war. She is not interested in what comes after. No, to be honest, that is not the end she wishes
無駄
for.
話はここまでよ、アーチャー。持ち場に戻りなさい。あなたが何を考えているかはどうでもいいわ。あなたはすでに私のサーバント。その命は私の手の中にある。それを肝に銘じて口を聞きなさい。
了解した。では従順なサーバントらしく主の期待に応えるとしよう。
The knight in red goes up the stairs. Seeing him off silently, Caster lets out a long sigh. One more day until Saber surrenders. She does not have the Holy Grail yet, but she will approach the end once Saber falls. What will happen when the war ends? Caster will make every wish come true with her powers. It is not bad to live as a witch, like she swore before dying. But the reason she will go away once the war ends. Even if she has the will, her master will lose the reason to stay by as
あ
her
と
master.
少しで聖杯はこの手に収まる。
Caster gracefully reaches out into empty space. Her hard work is about to be rewarded. Her expression is like that of a criminal about to be executed. What the fuck? Status screen updated. I saw many corpses. I died at that time and was reborn. Status. Caster. Media. Tool creation, already have that. Details. Oof. 7 pages. An unfortunate princess labeled as a witch in Greek mythology, Jason, a hero famous from the Argo expedition, argued with King Peleus, the usurper of his father's country. He managed to make the king promise to return this country to him if he went far east to Clochis? If someone knows Greek, can you tell me what the fuck that is? Ren returned with the golden fleece. The princess of Clochis that possessed this golden fleece was Medea. King Aetus? What? Oh god. The king of the area excelled at magic, and his daughter, who also practiced magic, but her personality was far from what you might call a witch. Her fate was confounded after the hero Jason appeared. When the goddess Aphrodite, who supported Jason, realized that the king was unshakable, she controlled his daughter Medea's mind and made her blindly love Jason. As a result, Medea betrayed her father and her country for a foreigner called Jason, whom she had never seen before. Medea nullified her father's magic and even the enchanted fire-breathing oxen, and allowed Jason to obtain the golden fleece. Of course, the king was infuriated and personally led his army to capture Jason before he left the country. To assist Jason's escape, Medea was once again used by the goddess. Medea boarded the Argo, which belonged to the man she loved yet only knew by name, and sliced her brother, Epsiartus. Fuck. Sure. and to pieces. Right before the eyes of her pursuing father, the king was overcome by grief and ordered for the collection of the pieces of his dead son. Seizing the opportunity, the Argo escaped its pursuers, and Jason safely returned to his native land of Iolcus. Sure. Returning to his native lands, Jason asked for the return of the country as promised, but King Pelias refused and informed a plot to kill him. Jason relied on Media's magic 3 times up to escape the danger, and Medea came up with a plan for Jason. They invited King Pelias to visit and killed his servant in front of him. After reviving him with her magic, Medea offered to cast this spell of immortality on the king as well. Please fall for it, you dumbass. The king was overjoyed and gave his body to Medea. Of course, his dead body was left in pieces and thrown into the sea. Thus, Jason became king, and his fellow Argonauts did not approve of his conduct. Most of all, they disapproved of Medea's existence. She had betrayed her country for a man, killed her brother to save herself, and now taken the throne by deceit. Medea was denounced as a witch and chased out of the country together with Jason. Jason and Medea arrived at Corinth, where they were welcomed by the king. Medea finally found peaceful rest in this land. This peace, finally obtained after her abduction and denouncement, did not last long. The king of Corinth took a liking to Jason and decided to have his daughter marry him. Jason also chose the young daughter, and Medea was exiled. Damn. Her actions after that indeed were those of a witch. Medea appeared at Jason's wedding and used her magic to burn all who attended, including the king of Corinth and his daughter. Jason was the only one left alive. Get fucked, buddy. God damn. Now that's getting revenge. Her fate after she left Corinth is unknown, and as her life was filled only with betrayal, it is said that the princess became a true witch and continued to roam the Greek lands. I feel bad for her. Man, I don't want to give her a pass, but I kind of want to give her a pass. Divine, high-speed, divine language, A. Golden Fleece, EX. Very valuable. It said that it can summon dragons. Oh, fuck. But since Caster does not have the ability to summon Phantom Beast, it cannot be used. Well, that's fucking a useless skill. And Destroyer of all marks, a dagger that can destroy any magic, an ultimate anti-magic noble phantasm that turns any object strengthened with magic bound by contract, or any life form created out of magic to a state prior to its creation. A magical weapon that materializes the divinity of the Witch of Betrayal. Like its appearance, the attack power is weak, and it is only the killing power of a knife. I'd say that's more than a C. I'd say that's like a B+. It can break any contract.